Well, I just realized when I threw this shuttle across, as I went across, I could feel that some of these threads from the bottom one picked up as well. It's kind of hard to see here at the moment. I'm going to show you what I do to fix it. So right now I know that there's an issue there. And basically what I'm doing is I'm pulling this thread out and I'm going to be lifting, because what happened when I did the treadling, I went a little too fast. The other shafts didn't fall down. So what I do is I kind of pick all of that up. I'll take the shuttle through, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it's on the bottom. So as I pull it through, all of those other threads, you can kind of see here, they're all on the top of the shuttle, and I'm going to continue to hold it up because they'll stick on everything. And I'll bring that back out, and it looks like I caught them all. And the other thing I want to do is I want to beat that lightly, and it's a good idea to wind this back on your bobbin. Now, a lot of times they'll say to wind it on tightly. You can go loosely if it's only one time you're going around, or a shorter amount of yarn. It is a good idea to go back and wind it tight, just like you did when you originally wound your bobbin. And beat that again, make sure everything's all right. Now I can continue weaving, except now I see the last couple times it got caught on all of those. So now what do? Well, you weave backwards. What else can you do? And I see that there was another one in there. I have to figure out where it is. Looks like we're okay there. I'm going to weave backwards here. And you can see there's another, I could see underneath there's a couple more threads. So I'm going to hold them both up again, slide it through. Whoop, make sure you don't slide too far over. Catch that one. Bring that all back, but you can still see, right on that edge. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's just a little sticky. I'm going to do a quick wind up here to finish that. And come back again. Let's see if I'm at that. All right, I think that might be at the last spot there. But apparently there was another one in the middle here that I got caught on. So now, this is when you go, oh no, what do I do? Do I just cut it off? Do I keep on going? What should I do? Well, let's see what happens. All right, so apparently I had two. I had another one back there. So I'm going to lift it up and go on back, fix that one. And now basically it looks like we're back in order. However, with my weaving eye, which you tend to get after a while, I can see that back here I also made another mistake. Again, a sticky thread, sticky cotton, or maybe I just was too fast and didn't I threw the shuttle too quickly. So what I will do is I will weave backwards all the way to that point, and I will fix those threads there. Of course, as a weaver, it's on the edge. It's all up to you if you want to make that fix or not. If you don't want to go all the way back, another thing that you can do is, I'm going to show you that just in a moment. I have to get a darning needle, and I'll show you another solution if you do not want to go back and weave that far back. Well, I went back and I did do some unweaving as far as I had that one mistake. The other thing that I did was I rewound the bobbin. So I did have to cut that off, and I rewound the bottom bobbin. So now when I continue weaving, it's going to come off properly. That's one thing I recommend. However, I decided I don't know if I really want to go back this far to keep unweaving. So what I'm going to do is I have some of the thread that I was using for the weft, and I have a darning needle, and I just threaded some of that, took some off the bobbin. And what I'm going to do, hopefully this will work so we can see it, I'm really going to take my needle and I'm going to needle weave. The nice thing about this is that you're going to needle weave and follow the path of the yarn. So right now I want to make sure that I'm following, if I'm going under and over, and I'm going into where that mistake was. I'm going to make sure that, like I said, I'm going to follow along here. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be in the same one, And I happen to have this under tension a little bit, just a little tension. I do have a nubby needle. Might be better if I had used a sharper needle, but in this case, well, that's not what I had available, and I grabbed this one. All right, so now here's where the mistake is. So I'm going to go over top of it, and I'm going to continue, and there's one other one. And I have to keep following that along just a little bit farther. And then I will pull this through. I happen to like to, you can leave that in there or you can nip it. I'm going to just nip it a little bit here on each end so I can still see it. What I'll do then is once it's washed, then I will cut those ends. But I want to have it washed so that thread that where the mistake was fixed. Now I could, if I want to, go back to the other side and nip it on that side. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave that in there. This is an easy fix if you've skipped 2 threads or 1 even that are very close together. If they were all the way across here, I don't think I'd want to do it. The other reason I've decided to do it this way, it is on the edge of this particular piece of fabric. And while I have your attention, I'll just review on how I add my next yarn. And in this case, it doesn't quite reach all the way across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the shed, and I'm going to come in about 1.5 inches, kind of tug a little bit at the end, then take the bobbin. And in this case, I like to leave it out just a little bit, do the beading, and then I'm going to weave. I know some people wait till the end and then they cut all the ends off. I don't like to do that. I like to get it done now. So I will snip it as close as I can. Then I don't have to do that when I'm finished with the weaving. The nice thing about this yarn too, this was hand dyed, so it's kind of variegated. And when you do add the next color or the next thread, it doesn't show as much as if it was a solid color yarn.